MNY News. I'm Andrew Johnson.
And I'm Corey Maggio. Let's get started.
What a beautiful day we're having here in the great Camarillo city.
Southern California, 82 degrees, the weather's out, sun is shining. Now let's get started. Today we're going to take a look at the media and youth analysis, and here's the clip.
Now, Daddy, I'm here to explain to you how to eat an Oreo. Don't laugh, it's very hard. First, you twist it. No. You lick it. You don't have to say but I just can't help myself. Then you put them back together because they're married. Then you dunk it into the milk, then you eat it.
Can I try?
I don't think you're ready yet.
Only Oreo.
What a great clip. Let's go through some cultural aspects about England now.
For those of you who don't know, England has a parliament that consists of a king and a queen. If you notice the young girl in the picture, I guess you could say is a pretty good example of royalty. You notice the background setting, her bedroom, the tea party. Perfect example of England culture.
I mean, I couldn't agree more. Now let's go over the advertising techniques.
Sounds good, Andrew.
The techniques used in this commercial were humor, warm fuzzy, plain people, signs and symbols, and repetition.
Perfect.
The humor in the film had to do with England's culture of royalty. The dad gets in trouble from his daughter for eating an Oreo. He was scared to get caught by a 4-year-old little girl, and in the end, that was the humorous part.
Now let's talk about the warm and fuzzy technique. The little girl is wearing a white dress, has white curtains in her bedroom, and they're having a tea party. This gives you a very warm and fuzzy feeling and makes the viewer feel comfortable. This was one of the techniques that was used in the commercial.
Touching story, Corey. Now let's talk about another technique, plain people. Plain people is when the viewer sees regular people, or plain people, like you and I, in the commercial, to be personable to us, because we can feel like we can really relate to them.
The last technique is signs and symbols. If you notice, the Oreo box is on the table the entire time. The visual aid is what encrypts into our mind, and so we have that memory. And that's one of their other techniques that they use for the commercial.
Nice technique there, Corey.
I thank you, Andrew.
Now let's talk about our last technique, which is repetition. The girl said the product's name, Oreo, numerous times throughout the commercial so that you know what they're trying to sell you. This is a verbal way of encrypting information into your memory.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well said, Andrew. Each one of these techniques is designed to catch the viewer's attention. And not only catch the viewer's attention, but to make sure they don't forget the commercial. So when we see these advertisements, we don't forget and we spread the word. And that's why these advertisement techniques are so important.
I couldn't agree more, Corey.
Thank you, Andrew.
Now let's throw it over to Matt and Courtney.
Coming at you from Australia, it seems as though there's been some kind of disturbance here around a local neighborhood.
So, yeah, let's roll the clip, Jimmy.
It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under. Bill collectors, they ring my phone and scare my wife when I'm not home. Got a bum education, double-digit inflation, can't take the train to the job, there's a strike at the station. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge. I'm trying not to lose my head. It's like a jungle sometimes, it makes me wonder how I keep from going under.
Did you get the nappies?
The nappies. Don't push me, cause I'm close to the edge.
Wow, what a good looking car. Is that a Kia?
I mean, yeah, it's a Kia, Courtney. That guy was totally whipped. Did you see him out getting the nappies? Like, that's not what guys do, right?
Perhaps in this short film, Matt. However, the typical Australian is known to be egalitarian.
Egalitarian.
Okay, whatever. Egalitarian. So the gender roles here in Australia are typically equal.
That's great. I'm so glad that Australia is culturally equal.
Celebrities is definitely one of them. Grandmaster Melly Mel and Scorpio were huge artists back in the 1980s. Not only are they attracting teenagers with their catchy hip-hop music, but adults as well, because they're familiar with these artists and they can act like a kid again in the Kia.
I want to talk to you guys about the music in that video because those beats were sick. It actually makes driving Kia look cool. Though that middle-aged white guy looked like a cool kid, and now all the teenagers want to drive a Kia.
Humor is also another technique. Not every day do you see the average white boy trying to rap.
So, the last advertising technique we are going to examine is plain folks. I mean, those sick beats and gangsta celebs really made that plain folk look pretty cool. I mean, did you see how jealous those kids were of that guy and how pissed those old people were? I hate old people. It was like the commercial was trying to say, even if you're average, it's like driving a Kia is like if Keith Urban and Crocodile Dundee had a baby.
Well, that'll do it for our news.
Stay classy, Camarillo.
Wow, well those were both really great commercials. I liked how both of them used humor and plain people to get across the product that they were trying to sell.
Another thing I noticed is they were both filmed for a family-oriented environment, just as their product is advertised.
Yeah, however, the Australian commercial used more of like a loud atmosphere in contrast to the Oreo commercial was more warm and fuzzy.
And did you guys notice that culturally it looked like the Australians were a little more laid back while the English guys were really uptight and she didn't want her dad to have any Oreos?
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Totally agree.
Definitely agree.
America!
Yeah, no, seriously, America's way better.